Hey, welcome back to the JK Moto Entertainment channel. Welcome back once again to Stable B, our favorite place. Today we're going to talk about something that is very important for really anyone riding a motorcycle, but we're gonna dive into a specific topic on it. We're going to talk about tires today. We're going to talk about what tires you should definitely not put on your bike if you're going to go ride on the street, and how they're fine for street use. They are legal for street use, but they're really just not worth it. And if you're riding on the street, you might as well spend money elsewhere. Otherwise, you're just gonna be spending a lot of money. So let's go ahead and get into it and talk about some tires. Before we do, I need you to click the subscribe button down below. Go ahead and throw a like on the video. And if you have any questions or comments, or you got some ideas that are a little bit different than mine, please throw those down in the comment section so we can hear about them, read about them. And yeah, I'll be kind of curious to see. But let's go ahead. We're going to talk about specifically the Pirelli Supercorsa and the Dunlop Q5, and maybe a little bit of Michelin talk in there as well. Let's get into it. Alright, so when I talk about tires and talk about the fact that you shouldn't have them on your bike if you ride on the road, i.e. the street, I'm not talking about slicks. I kind of just mentioned to you, right, the Q5. Let me pull my Q5 up here. This one's a little dusty. Yeah, nice and dusty. So this is a Dunlop Q5 right here. You can see it has all of two sipes on it, one on either side coming up. So we got sipe 1 and then sipe 2. You can kind of see over that way. Or sipe 2, and that's it. And that is actually has nothing to do with why I think you shouldn't ride it on the road. That is just a characteristic of the tire. And then we dive into our Pirellis, our Supercorsa. These are an SC3. These are like super nuts, but you get a couple more sipes. I think you get this one, and then the same on the other side. So I would say you have 4 kind of. 2 per side, 4 total. That's the Pirelli Supercorsa. So what am I getting at here? Like what's going on? Why is this such a big deal? I generally during track days I run slicks. I've been doing that for a few years now. I've gone back and ridden on the Q5 and ridden on the Supercorsa. I actually rode on an old Metzler Sport Touring tire. I don't really recommend that on the track. So there's all sorts of different tires you can get, right? And if you dive onto any tire website brand, or any tire brand website, you will see so many options. And when you get into like, even break that down even further and just go sport bike tires, there's still so many options. I was actually just on the Michelin website trying to figure out like, okay, what's Michelin's equivalent track day tire? And let's also keep that in mind. When these companies sell these tires, they're selling them as track day tires that are DOT approved, but they are track day tires. And that's really, quite truly, all they are built for. And the point here is that if you're buying those for anything else, I truly think you're wasting your money. So for those of you that are like track riders, my track day junkies and all of that, I'd love if y'all stick around for the video so you can give me some comments, give me some feedback back, and back me up a little bit on this. But if you don't want to because you're like, okay, this is for the street newbies, if you will, by all means. Anyway, you should probably cut out the street newbies part. But like I was saying, I was on the Michelin website, and I just saw a list of so many, and I got to I think it was a Pilot Power GP2 is their official like track day tire now, and they've got the Pilot Power 6 and the Road 6 and the Power 5 and the Road 5 and the Power RS GP Cup 2 Evo something or other 2CT 2CT. And there's just so many options. What do you go with? What tire do you get? And I can't sit here and walk you through every single tire. I haven't ridden on all of them. I rode on some like Pilot Power RSs back in the day. I rode on some 2CTs way back in the day. But as far as going to a track day, getting a track day tire is a great option. 100%. It's a great option. However, if you're going to do any amount of street riding on that bike, those track day tires are not worth it. They do not have dual compound. They are not built for longevity at all. They don't do super well in the rain or mixed conditions. They do okay. And they are DOT approved. They're gonna do okay, but they're not really built for it. They love to be hot, like hot. So, and my issue is that so many people get a motorcycle and they go out and they ride through the canyon and they talk about doing spirited riding and they're canyon carving and they hit some crazy twisties today. But if you follow along this channel, we've got a ton of different videos out here kind of talking about how like you don't really get what you do on the racetrack, out on the road, anywhere. Unless you're being absolutely ridiculous and breaking a ton of laws. You know, you do you, but I'm just saying that I've seen some people and I've heard some stories that people think they're out there going absolutely crazy, but you come back and you feel your tires and your brakes and everything just feels nice and cold still. These track day tires do well in warm temperatures, very warm temperatures with low PSI, and like you almost treat them like slicks. They are so close these days. They're a little bit different. They heat up a little quicker. They do handle the rain-ish. They handle the cold-ish. So they're a little different, but you treat them almost the same. And if you put these things on your street bike, one, you're not gonna get to the level of spirited riding they're really built for, and there's plenty of other street tires that are built for plenty spirited riding. In fact, I'm looking at a set of Pirelli Rosso 4s right now that's a great option. And then two, the track day tire does not expect you to be on the middle of the tire for any more than the front straight. And I'm gonna pull up another tire and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. This one's still on the rim. And this is a Dunlop GPR 300. I have no idea, never really seen it before. But if you look at this guy real up and close here, you're gonna see that it does not have a very round profile. And it comes up and it goes flat across. And this one's actually not as bad as I've seen, but you can see that flat profile. That is from riding on the road down a straight area. And that's what you do on the road. And that's fine. Like, that has to happen. Even to get over to your canyon where your twisties are, you gotta go down some straight roads. And you're gonna be straight up and down on your bike. And you're gonna be wearing that middle of the tire. And these things will, whenever I see a Q5 on someone's road bike, it's just so bad because the middle of this gets so flat so fast. And I'll tell you straight up, in my personal opinion and my experience from what I've seen, it doesn't matter what street tire you're on. If you're on a sport bike and you're on some sort of sport tire, or even really a sport cruising tire, but it's a little better for sport touring tires. But if you're on any sort of like sporty tire, 2CT, 3CT, whatever, dual compound, we'll talk about that in a second, you're still gonna get a flat spot. It's just gonna happen, right? And that's just kind of part of the game. But these things will do it in like a matter of a week or less, and it is absolutely nuts. It's just not worth it. The other thing is, that Q5 right there, to get a set of Q5s costs you dang near 550 bucks, which, you know, all your street tires cost a good amount of money, so I get that. But you're looking at a tire that's not gonna last you, and it just, it ain't worth the money. It's gonna wear down way too quick. You're not gonna get like high mileage out of it, and you're gonna run out super fast. You're gonna be replacing tires like once a year or more, depending on how often you're riding. Now, we just talked about dual compound, and we're gonna talk about kind of a phenomena. Anyway, the other side of this is that the argument I could see someone arguing with me on is that you don't need the middle of the tire when you're out on the racetrack, so why not use it and just let the middle of the tire go down flat? Who cares? You're not really gonna use it anyway. Then you have the edge of the tire available still, because you're not gonna use that on the road. And while that is quite that's a decent argument. I hear you pretty good. Have you ever ridden a motorcycle on brand new tires? You ever go get your tires changed and hop back on after riding on these super old flat spotted tires? That thing almost falls over on you because of how much it wants to just dip into a corner. That's what you want out on a racetrack or out on the road or really anywhere on these motorcycles. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So I would argue that it's not worth it. That flat spot is horrible. And like I said, almost all the tires are gonna get them, and we understand it's there. You're welcome to go right on the road, and I have no issues with that. I do it a little bit myself, like not trying to smash talk there. I'm just saying stay away from the track day tires for your road riding. Go get yourself something. I wouldn't go quite as far as like a sport touring tire, but I would definitely get a high performance all around street tire. And the chances are that one, you're not riding as spirited as you think you are, so you don't even really need these spirited riding tires. Two, you're gonna be able to get something that's a dual compound, meaning it has a harder compound in the middle of the tire here. So I was gonna use our Dunlops for example, but since I have something that does have a dual compound in it,
we'll go ahead and use that. I believe. I think I'm getting messed up. Maybe it doesn't.
It should. Anyway, sorry. This is the Pirelli Rosso 4 dual compound tire. Not sure if this one is, because now I'm second guessing myself and I don't see it saying anything about it on the side here. It just got me super messed up. It is a dual compound. So here we have our Pirelli Rosso 4. This is not the Rosso 4 Corsa. So this is only a dual compound. Apparently they also make a triple compound. They're getting absolutely crazy. But dual compound, essentially, it's going to be hard to show because I can't see it. Usually, once you start riding on them, you can kind of see the brake. But out here on the edge of the tire, so from about here out, is the edge. That's the grippy spot. That's where, you know, when we're turning, that's where we want all our grip and all our nice rubber. In fact, you can see that Pirelli actually leaves the very edge right here without anything in it. When you look at your sipes, there's a whole inch of rubber out here that has no sipes coming to it and nothing else in it. So that way, if you really get out there, you got all the grip. All the grip's still there, I promise. It's nice, clean, good rubber. And then as you get farther in, you know, there's some sipes and whatnot to get the rain out of your way and everything else. But there's a dual compound, meaning that about from here out, I would say, probably, I didn't design the tire, it's a very sticky compound that will wear down very quickly, will heat up pretty well, and will get you some good grip in the dry weather. Up here, or the wet weather, up here is a much harder, stiffer compound. That's because Pirelli knows you're gonna stick this on your street bike and you're gonna go ride down the freeway. And you're gonna say, I need a nice sporty tire for street riding because I'm a spirited rider. However, it takes me 2 hours to get to my local canyon, and all of that 2 hours is spent on the freeway. And I do this once or twice a month, and the rest of the time I'm actually just commuting to work on the same freeway. Pirelli knows that, and they made a dual compound tire. They put this big, thick, nice compound in the center for you so that it doesn't wear down quite as fast, so you still get the good tire profile, because having that nice round profile is so important to the riding characteristics of your bike. Gosh, we have so many tires in here. I'm like surrounded by tires this morning. So anyway, the whole point being, I don't think you're riding quite as spirited as you think you are. If you are, get an extra set of wheels with some spirited tires for those wheels and put them on when you want to go do your spirited riding. And the rest of the time, don't waste your money and just use normal street tires. And definitely, like, keep in mind that Rosso 4 I actually purchased for someone, or told them to purchase for a track day, because that's a great track day tire still. Is it the Supercorsa? No. Is it still super sticky and built to be able to handle plenty of speed on a sport bike? Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to have the wicked crazy top of the line tire to be able to go fast on a racetrack or the street or anywhere. You really just have to know how to ride. So yeah, that's really about all I got. Hopefully you guys found that a little eye-opening. Just keep in mind, the tire technology is absolutely insane, and tire companies love selling tires. So they would love to sell you a spirited riding tire 3 times a year, knowing that you don't do anywhere near spirited enough riding for what that tire can accomplish. Because there are people out here club racing on those tires. So just keep that in mind. That's all I have for today. We appreciate you guys watching. Please, once again, subscribe to the channel, throw a like in the video. And if you have any comments or you disagree with me on my take on sport tires, let me know down in the comment section. I want to hear about it. I'll reply back. Yeah. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.